Hey everyone, it is Susan with Susie Simply Handmade. We are going to be making a fun jack-o'-lantern. This is going to be our pattern, but we're not using this. We're going to turn these into a really cute little jack-o'-lantern. I have a piece of black felt, so we're going to cut the eyes, nose, and mouth out of the felt, and then we're going to make some little tendrils using these pipe cleaners, but we have to paint them because they're not the right color. I'm going to be using some Waverly pumpkin paint. We're going to paint this up. Look, we painted this up really quick. It's not going to be perfect because I want it to have a little variation because it's a jack-o'-lantern. We're not making a perfect pumpkin. So we have both of our placemats painted. And again, the backs are green, but it doesn't matter. We're not going to see that. I'm going to use some Waverly chalk in the color moss. And we're going to paint up these cleaners really quick, okay? So these are going to be like our little tendrils. So this works really well. If you want to, you can change the color of anything with some paint. We're going to do a couple of those real quick. I used Pumpkin by Waverly. I don't have my heat gun or anything out here tonight. Normally this chalk paint dries really quick, but it could be the texture and just where it's down in the texture of these placemats. I'm going to glue this all around the edge, and I'm going to leave it one good sized opening so that I can put in some stuffing. And I'm just going to use polyfill and let this glue really adhere good. So I'm going to stuff some of this in here, and you don't have to stuff it a whole lot because this is really stiff and I don't want it to stick out real far. I just want to fill it in just a little bit. See, I'm not stuffing this real full. I'm going to seal this up. Go ahead and seal it up. I just put some hot glue in that little opening because you don't want to leave a great big gap because then you're going to be trying to hold all that stuffing in there, get it closed up and everything else. So it looks super cute already. We've got it all stuffed and ready. So then all we have to do is put the face on it, add a little stem up here, and then like I say, our little tendrils. This is literally just get something to wrap this around. I'm just going to twist this right around the skewer and get these curled up. Again, this is just a pipe cleaner. So we're going to take this and we're going to make our face using this because it's the perfect size for this. This came from Dollar Tree really well. It fits these placemats perfect. Look at the size of that. So that's what I'm using for the pattern for the face. Get it to show up because I don't have chalk. But we're going to try to make it work. And it's barely large enough to fit all of this on, but it is big enough, barely. Okay. So I'm hoping this marker will be a little bit darker or different than this black so I can get it to show up. Because I don't know any other way that I can do this because I don't have a I'm really going over it real well just to try to make sure, and it's hard to cut whenever you can barely see them, so we're going to get them as close as we can. We're not going to do that. We're going to put it on this pumpkin to our little pillow. Now we're going to figure this out. These go kind of close together. And it goes pretty close to the top. Like I say, I got to kind of look at things to see how it's going to go here. Got to see how it's going to go. Let's see, put that there. Bring these down just a little bit. Those are pretty close. Like I say, the mouth and stuff's not perfect. I couldn't see it real well. But this is what it's looking like. How sweet is that? 2 placemats and some felt. Okay, so we're going to glue these on just with a little hot glue. How sweet is this going to be? And like I say, guys, this can go right out on your patio because it is a placemat. We've painted it with chalk paint. You can seal it if with, you know, a spray if you would like to, like a silicone spray or something. Let me look at his little nose. You can spray it with a silicone spray. Now, it does have the polyfill inside. That's not waterproof or whatever. You don't want to put this out on an open, uncovered patio, whatever. But on your covered porch, that's what I'm calling a patio. It needs to be covered out of the weather. But you could seal it really well with something. It would probably be okay for just one season, but you probably wouldn't be able to use it the next year. I wouldn't want to use it after, you know, if you get water in there on that polyfill because So yay, look how cute he is. Let's see. So we can just put that up there, but then we need, let's just see what we can do here. Let me see what I got. Yeah, that'll work. Let's just do 3 of these together and we'll wrap it. And then I'm going to use some of this cording to wrap the stem with. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to wrap the stem. I'm going to do it this way first and then we'll go around. So I'm getting creative here because I couldn't find my jute rope, my nautical ropes. I don't know where I put it. So we're going to just use this cording. It'll work perfect. I love this cording. I use it for so many things. It's good stuff. So we'll put some across the top, down the side, and then we will, because we're just going to cover this whole entire thing with this cording and make it look like a little stem. Let's just add this. I'm just going to put some glue here, and then I'm going to put it right up behind the very edge and let it stick up a little bit. And like I say, the back side of it's not finished, but you know what? It's okay. For now, we're going to make it work. We're going to put this at the top edge, because then we're going to put our little tendrils and some other decor up there. But this is literally just Jenga blocks and that mesh cording. Okay, so I'm going to add our little tendrils on here. We're just going to glue them on, make them sweet and cute. And then, like I say, we might add a little spooky touch here in a minute, now that I've got a few little Halloween-y things here. We're going to add a little bow up here. I'll do a little bow at the top. You guys know I love my bows. I like to make bows. I like to add bows. We'll just add our little bow here with our little tendrils. I just really want to see what this looks like all finished up. And then let's put it right there in the center, right at the base of our little stem, because you want to be able to see your stem and your bow and your tendrils. You want to make sure you can see everything. You don't want to cover anything up completely. So I'm going to work on that and make sure I can see everything. Add something right here in the center to cover it. Look how sweet that is. So we'll add our little bit of spooky right here. Let's add a little spider up here. How about that? We'll add our little bit of spooky. So we got our spooky, sweet, cute, traditional, all the things, and we're going to add our little spider. That is our little bit of spookiness that we're going to add. A little spook. Instead of a flower, we're going to add a spider. Now you can add whatever you want to. Like I say, you don't have to do this to yours because it's cute as a button without it. That's what I do. I'm like, okay, what can I do with this? Look how cute. Look at the little spider there. Yay, this turned out so adorable, guys. Thank you, guys. I think he turned out stinking adorable. Have a great one, guys.